Like nearly everything else, tire technology and performance continues to evolve, and nowhere is this more apparent than at the top of the tire food chain in the Extreme Performance Summer Tire category, which aims squarely at track day and autocross drivers or anyone with a performance car looking for the absolute highest level of dry traction and handling in a true street tire. Over the past decade, we've watched this category evolve from a few niche products to a wide array of tires from many manufacturers, all delivering performance that was unimaginable just a few years ago. This time around, we're treated to 3 new products in the Extreme Performance Summer category. BF Goodrich has the new G-Force Rival S, which comes out of the same mold as the original G-Force Rival, but rides on a new tread compound designed to come up to optimum temperature more quickly during dry autocross and sprint track use, while also improving wet traction. Bridgestone's new tire, the Potenza RE71R, resurrects an old product name from their performance heyday back in the 90s and features a newly developed tread compound and highly tuned internal construction that maximizes contact with pavement to boost performance. Kuhmo was a player back in the early days of the Extreme Performance Summer category and has jumped back in with the X2 V720, which builds on a tread pattern already available in Asia. The tire we get here in North America has a unique tread compound and internal structure tuned specifically for the way performance drivers in this part of the world use their tires. To see how these 3 new players perform, we're comparing them with one of last year's newest and top performers, the Hankook Ventus Rs3 version 2. Extreme levels of dry weather traction and handling are the reason these tires exist, and none of the tires in our test disappoint. When it comes to outright performance, the Bridgestone Potenza RE71R leads the group with impressive traction, amazing precision, and excellent communication, all of which help our drivers click off very fast and consistent lap times. The unexpected standout is the Kuhmo X2 V720, which was almost as quick as the RE71R thanks to predictable handling, good communication of its limits, and a very high traction level. For us, the dry track performance of the BF Goodrich G-Force Rival S was a small step back from the leaders, and while reasonably quick, it doesn't have the steering response, precision, or clear communication to the driver of the faster tires. Right behind the Rival S was the Hankook Ventus Rs3 version 2, one of the top new tires from the previous year. This time around, it's now pushed to 4th fastest among a relatively tight group as the newer tires move the performance needle forward. As we watch the dry performance level of Extreme Performance Summer tires evolve ever higher, we're seeing the byproduct of the tire brands really pushing the performance limits for true street tires. For the first time during our track testing, we're seeing tread rubber marbles form just off the driving line in high load corners as the tires sacrifice themselves to lay down fast lap times. It's of little surprise given the fast pace, but brings along noticeably higher wear rate on the BF Goodrich, Bridgestone, and Kuhmo tires than we've encountered in past tests of Extreme Performance Summer tires. Impressive dry performance isn't the only thing we see evolving on these tires. Extreme Performance Summer tires like these usually abandon wet traction in their search for ultimate dry performance. But this time around, we find all 4 tires in our test are delivering wet traction that's approaching good max performance summer tires, the usual go-to for maximum wet performance. In this test, all 4 tires were able to lap our track quickly with less than 1/4 of a second spread across the group. The Potenza RE71R repeated its friendly nature found in the dry, proving easy for our drivers to maximize lap after lap. The G-Force Rival S, X2 V720, and Ventus Rs3 version 2 were all close behind. As the category name implies, these are extreme tires designed to perform. And like most things that are this specialized, there are some trade-offs. The steps needed to deliver the level of handling and traction results in a sacrifice of ride and noise comfort during everyday driving. And as a consequence, we found the top performers on the track were rather punishing when it came to driving on the road. I'm driving in the car equipped with the BF Goodrich G-Force Rival S tires, and driving with the surrounding traffic, the handling of this tire is good, although the initial steering response just is a little bit slower than the other tires in our test. The ride is firm but not too punishing, and even with this tire's blocky looking tread pattern, the overall noise level is reasonable with only minimal growl. Now I'm driving the car equipped with Bridgestone Potenza RE71R tires, and just driving around, you quickly get a sense of just how linear the steering response of this tire is. You ask, and it gives back in an equal amount. The ride is firm, and it borders on harsh when encountering some of the rougher pavement. And the noise, man, you may not be able to hear it here in the camera, but the tread pattern makes a constant drone heard at all speeds. Now I'm driving the Hankook Ventus Rs3 version 2 tires, and this tire drives much like you'd expect from an extreme performance tire, with good handling and a tight direct feel in the steering wheel. Compared to several other tires in the test, the ride and noise levels of this tire are much more civilized. Now I'm driving on the Kuhmo X2 V720, and the steering feel of this tire is nice and direct, but as I roll along, you can tell this tire is loud. I mean, as speeds pick up, the unsuspecting driver might even begin to think that a wheel bearing is going bad. The growl from its tread pattern is that loud. One can make the argument that given the focus of these tires, road manners are of little importance. But buyers should be aware of what they're getting. If you drive a fairly quiet performance car, the impact on everyday comfort is sizable. If you install these extreme performance summer tires on a more modified, stiffly sprung and loud car, then it's less apparent. If you're looking for the highest level of performance and handling in a true street tire and are willing to trade off some civilized manners to get it, then a tire from the extreme performance summer category fits the bill. We're finding the newest designs offer the highest level of performance, but are evolving to be much less street friendly to get it. Subjectively, the BF Goodrich G-Force Rival S outscores the other tires by a small margin, combining strong track performance with reasonable road manners. But when it comes to ultimate dry and wet performance among this group, the Bridgestone Potenza RE71R is the alpha male at the top of the evolutionary ladder. The Kuhmo X2 V7 gives the Potenza RE71R a run for its money by delivering impressive dry performance, but brings along road manners so extreme that it's not well suited to daily commuter duty. The Hankook Ventus Rs3 version 2 holds its own against tough competition, but from an outright performance perspective, it's clear that newer designs are a little faster. As we compare tires side by side, we find each one has its own personality. It's not as easy as choosing between good and bad. So as you view our test results, it's important to focus on your priorities and what fits best, how, where, and what you drive. And be sure to go to TireRack.com for the complete test report and to learn more about the tires featured in this test.